time, O2 Blast just almost put themselves in the grand final. And remember, this is kind of funny to see these teams here. It's first place O2 Blast from the regular season versus Gen G, who got second place. It's incredible that they had to bye to the semis and then found themselves here. So now out the gates, the Symmetra teleporter to get a positional advantage. But out the gates, we will have the Widow Mei from O2 Blast and then the Widow Pharah. And a bit of a different support lineup too. The Mercy Ana, of course, with the Pharah, but a BAP Ana for O2 Blast.
Yeah, O2 Blast, they once again utilize the Symmetra, try to get them forward, get themselves forward quickly, but it's Gen G with this Pharah Widow. It's just difficult to get into those sidelines. They're just pressuring them down. Krong with a nice pick to start things off, though.
Oh, that's good. And already a first wall from O2 Blast. First cap, though, from Gen G. O2 Blast watched it happen. Now, how do they re-engage when you have Kaiser missing in action so early on? No shields to protect Krong. There's one left over. But now trying to break this one. Oh, Oberon got slept as he stepped past the shield. Being aggressive, you gotta be careful. Kaiser coming back as the Hammond, trying to re-engage with the team. Gen G in the skies and on the ground, dominating the fight and extending their lead.
Yeah, we saw how yesterday in both semifinal matches, both of these two teams struggled against the Pharah. This time Gen G, they're updating their composition. They're just downloading the Pharah and playing it themselves. O2 gonna have to try to deal with it here. Gen G, I mean, we even saw yesterday how Wakid, you know, we didn't see as much Pharah from him today. I would expect to see a little bit more. I think they are realizing now that this is going to be kind of a challenge here for O2 Blast, pulling this kind of strategy out.
Yeah, a bit of PTSD to have to deal with this Pharah once again in the barrage, making them dream even more, wishing they weren't here, but two, and even the immortality field coming too late. Wakid still also keeps his own life, receiving that nano, and even the support from Bliss cleaning up this fight for Gen G.
And something that we saw yesterday as well, later on in the series with O2 Blast versus Runaway, was Kaiser and Krong actually kind of coming together very nicely. We saw a lot of synergy on display from them in maps 3 and 4, particularly on Hollywood first point attack. But here, O2 Blast, they're going to have to maintain that level up that they had later after that halftime performance. But against Gen G, they have to figure out how to play against the Pharah. Both of these teams really did struggle against their opposition in the semifinal.
Trying to place their shield. Now they have the Amp Matrix. See if they can win the shield or what a great hook from Krong. No Bliss. So now, this is where Wakid is going to have less freedom in the skies, but he's still trading. Both supports gone for O2 Blast. Pelican going to lay down the Blizzard. Kaiser dangerously low, finished off by Wakid. Barrage at the ready, rains it down onto Mei, had the heist block ready, and the whole hog from Krong protects his fellow teammates. And at 99%, O2 Blast still working on the flip, and it should happen.
Yeah, they should be able to get this. It seems like the Road Dogg here is going to be staying. That's going to be Woo-Y'all over playing behind Elephant right now, but O2 Blast now in control, and you can see this little dual Glister getting dealt with here. But finally, O2 Blast in control of this point, and you can see Wakid actually swapping over to the Mei. Now we do have a little bit closer to a mirror, right? I mean, here's Glister going to be going over to the Reaper. They're going to actually just go straight to that full-on aggressive pressure forward. I mean, not going really towards the meta, as we are actually going to go with a different style here. Hammond, this says to me that they want to get very, very aggressive, dive onto Proper, put some pressure down onto that backline as well, and just steal this fight away quickly.
Oh, but a first pick from Proper. This is big. He has sights on the point. Everyone tossed up there from Woo-Y'all, but no follow-up. Gen G just need to take this fight, and they will take the round, but losing Wakid's not a good start. Now Oberon, no shield for Gen G. O2 Blast get hit by a biotic. They are alive and well. It's a quick reset there for Gen G, as they did lose a few, and O2 Blast can live another day.
And we are now going over to that Diva pick. Creative now has the Nano Boost available, so while they're not necessarily playing what you would consider the meta with this lineup, they are subbing that Ana in for a Moira, but with having that Nano Boost, that could be something that really helps Glister kind of pop off in this scenario.
And he's going to engage just with that, make sure Glister is alive. He receives the nano. They use the isolation wall from Wakid, but O2 Blast starting to fall. Everyone, including Pelican, investing the Blizzard. Myungbong with the Coalescence. It's not enough to keep this fight alive for O2. 99% there for Gen G. No one is there to be found from O2 Blast. Krong getting back as the Hammond. You just barely can't touch, and that's 100 to 81.
Yeah, think about the hero pool crossover that the three players in the DPS role that Gen G have to offer. Glister, Stalker, Wakid. There's just so many different unique combinations that they can go for. You look back at week 7 where we first saw them playing the Mei Reaper, and they had a pretty solid showing playing Stalker on Mei and Wakid actually playing the Reaper. It looked pretty good. That's what we were expecting to see quite a bit here in playoffs, but it's very different. Now we see Glister in the mix instead of Stalker, and the roles are flipped as well. Wakid playing the Mei there, Glister playing the Reaper, and they get the job done. Now we move on into Sanctum, expecting to see a little bit more sniper play here. Gen G pulling both of them out, Widow and the Hanzo playing these long sight lines.
See how Sanctum goes. Symmetric Teleporter getting a better advantage at the start. What's interesting to me is now the Bap Zen is into play. A little bit more offensive power, shield break. Then you have the Transcendence if there were to be a Mei, but it's going to be double sniper from both teams.
All right, matching up Proper versus Glister. Glister already getting that first pick. Kaiser taken down. That's actually a reoccurrence. We saw quite a bit of that yesterday in the semifinal with Kaiser falling early.
We've seen that both from Oberon and Kaiser walking a little bit past their shield. And in a double sniper situation, that's where you get domed a little bit too much. You get picked first, get hooked first. But Gen G getting that middle map advantage from keeping their Orisa alive a bit longer. So they'll get to work on that lead now.
Yeah, nobody wants to sit at center map, right? Nobody wants to sit on the control point here against double sniper with these two basically just sitting on opposite ends, creating a crossfire. This flank control is really going to be everything. Oberon pushing forward here. That's going to open things up for Gen G's snipers. They already have control, so stalemating here definitely going to be benefiting Gen G.
But Krong did Krong things yesterday. Remember when he's going OTF all the time, and you can see Wuyao kind of keeping his eye on him, but Kaiser wins the Orisa duel. Big advantage now for O2 Blast. Can work to get a shield onto the point. Krong's gonna go for a cap by himself. He's got Pelican by his side. Gen G gonna fall through and closet and actually let it happen. So Gen G just taking a second.
Yeah, so puts him right over on top, and that's another couple of picks there for O2 Blast. So as they're already in control of the objective, now they actually force Gen G all the way back. So they're gonna have to go ahead and collate, come back out once again. And as Gen G, as they look right now, they're really going to have to rely on these support ults that are going to come up. Ant Matrix going to be able to waste that shield away from Kaiser, and they might look to try to pick that Orisa once more.
Pelican maybe wants to keep this fight over on this side because the Dragon Strike can maybe funnel them all into it. Doesn't have his Orisa near him, so you can't go for the Halt and Dragon at the moment, but it still spots the opportunity. At least splits off the Orisa from the rest, and there it still catches Oberon. Great first pick for O2 Blast. Will remain in control. Gen G, it's not going to be a fight they want to take.
I mean, we're nearing 2 minutes in this map already, and I think there's been less than a half dozen kills, and I mean half of them are just the Orisas. Yeah, exactly. So at this point, you can see that the tempo here is extremely, extremely slow as these teams are really trying to look for these angles, get these picks, and everybody's really just trying to play as safe as possible so they're not making a mistake. They're not overextending as much as they possibly can help it.
Yeah, O2 Blast taking a few angles. They have the Ant Matrix over on Pillar's side. Oberon's like 1 HP. Wherever he is in the world, your team needs you. 73+% for O2 Blast. They did lose one support, but Gen G, presence on the point, Supercharger there as well for an advantage, and there is Kaiser under fire. Krong there to protect the point, to keep it in control of O2 Blast. He gets a boot to the face, and Gen G will get the flip in a second.
Yeah, not only that, but they also maintain the Transcendence here from Creative, who actually was fighting on point there. A little dangerous of a position to play from as a Zenyatta, but hey, at least you get the job done. You also maintain that ultimate. That's going to be something that's going to certainly help Gen G. Unfortunately for them, though, O2 Blast coming up with some options of their own and have plenty of time to build into them. In fact, they have about 40 seconds to do just that. Proper with the infra sights, they have the vision right now. They're looking to flank around the left side. And in the process, they could create an opening, especially with this Halt.
And even Immortality Field makes it so Glister cannot be killed. It will go away finally. And Krong still challenging the other side of the map. There's been more battles on the sides of the map rather than in the middle. Still control for Gen G without Wuyao. You don't have as much of a frontline presence to go and engage that point. It's still the Orisas battling out over on the Pillar side. You see Kaiser getting low, receiving Immortality. Wakid is going to counter that with a Dragon Strike, and there is Wuyao making sure that kill does go through.
Oh, headshot onto Kaiser almost took him out immediately, but you can see the swap from Krong here. He's going to go over to the Hammond. This could be a potentially smart play as he's going to be able to contest the point, stay in ball form. He's not going to be able to get headshot by these snipers. He might actually force them to touch and contest against him and pull the rest of the fight to the point.
And now the fight has to take place on the point. They've been playing around the sides. Now O2 Blast setting up their shield. You have Krong making the space as the Hammond. Proper supporting at the back. Gen G with half their team missing, including the supports. This is not going to be a